helping us with the plan to create LACNIC. And after that, in 2001, we started to think about the organization by itself, to hire some people to work for the organization. And I put here nice offers because it was very interesting to remember that the first, we had 2 people at that time being hired to work for LACNIC, and the offer was work for free. LACNIC at that time was not an organization that has no budget, and the offer would be work for free for that time, but with nice offers for the future, nice proposition for the future. And it's nice to know that these 2 people that started to work at that time still work for LACNIC with better position, very happy. It was what we promised we could accomplish. And also in 2002, this was our office in Montevideo, Uruguay. It was a very small office, but it was enough for the 2 people working for LACNIC. We stayed there from April to November. It was 12 square meters. It was inside another organization. They rented us our office. It was enough, but it's funny to remember this type of thing. Going on, we start to be full operational by July 2002. The idea is, at that time, was to be ready to process internet requests from from members of our community, and have a system running, a database running, all the process already established. We could accomplish that. I was hired in 2001, August 2001, by a Brazilian organization to work on some of the process, to establish all the registration service, to help with the database deployment. And we, by July 2002, were ready to start. At that time we were already doing some of the processing some of the requests for IP with some cooperation aiding. And then in October 2002, we were formally recognized by ICANN in the Shanghai meeting, and that when we started as an organization, as RIR, and for the region. It was a fun celebration I put here in Shanghai, because I was not there, but people that was there just told us that it was a very fun celebration, because people were very happy about the results, about all the work being recognized and being finished. And they went to the hotel bar, started to drink something, to celebrate among themselves. It was just a few group. But other people start to join the celebration. And at the end, there was like, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 people drinking, and they have to pay for all the drinking, for they have to pay for the bill. They was not expecting that, but it was all fun. Some important lessons from this history. It was hard work to have all this organization working together and try to harmonize all the needs, the different interests of all these organizations. But it's something that we could accomplish. It was well worth it. And also the support from the key organizations in the region was very important. To have this organization that at that time had some history, had some background, had some work, to have them supporting LACNIC. It was very important. And LACNIC at the present, this is our office now. It's, I must say, it's a very nice office in Montevideo. The picture is a little bit dark to not let you people jealous about the place we have to work, but the truth is it's a very nice place to work. This was the party, the opening party we had in the office. Some numbers. We now have 19 people working for LACNIC. Some of them, well, we have three main areas: the communication area, the technical area, and the administration area. They have more or less the same number of people like 6 people working for the communication, 5 for technical, and 4 for administration. But still is a small staff, but we can do our work with that. And also about members, we have now 800 members, a little more than that. And we have different categories, but more or less the same in other IRs. But the great majority of our members are in the category of small ISPs, which have like 24, actually from 21 to 20 in size of the network, in size of prefix. But we can see a very important growth from 2006, and we are still growing. It's very important to see some results in number of members, so people are joining LACNIC and see some value to have the RIR in the region. So now we come to challenges we are facing now. Before I start to talk about the challenges we are facing now, it's important to see from where we receive some inputs about the challenges, about the things we have to do. In our region, we have this ECLAC, it's a UN organization, and they have this program they call ELAC. There is, for instance, this ELAC 2007, ELAC 2010. The idea is to establish some goals governments inside the region have to accomplish to develop the Internet society. And it was very interesting in 2007, actually before 2007, they deployed this ELAC 2007 with a lot of goals. And LACNIC, without being very active in participating in establishing of these goals, could accomplish with 25 actions inside this set of goals. Some actions like ICT deployment, training, things like this. Then we start to be more participative in this type of activity. So to establish this ELAC 2010, we could directly help them establish one of the goals. It's related to IPv6 deployment in the region. It's also addressing some of the expectations we receive from the community. We also have this meeting, LACNIC meeting, like other IRRs. In our case, we have just one per year. And this meeting starts very small. We just open policy forum. The idea is where people can discuss and propose policies. We start very small, but now we have a multitude of other organizations in this meeting. It's very nice to see the meeting have, grow like this. We have Internet Exchange Point discussions, security, IPv6, and it's now also a very nice opportunity for us to receive the feedbacks, to feel what the community needs. We start like from tens, like 40 or 50 people attended the meetings to hundreds now. The last meeting was May last year in Brazil. We had 290 people attended the meeting, which was very nice. We also, in 2007, very worried about this role of LACNIC in the region. We start internal strategic planning. The idea is to make sure we are at the right direction, doing the right thing, addressing the expectation of the community. We came up with this mission. It's audacious missions, but we can do this, to be a leader in the construction and articulation of collaborative efforts in the Internet development and stability in the Latin American Caribbean. And it was not something that we made up. It was based on feedbacks from the community. We start with some surveys and receive a lot of feedbacks. We could establish this mission. And this also created some challenges and some new projects. There is a typo here, so I'm sorry. So these are the challenges we are facing. This is challenge organization in our region are facing. It's very important things like regional interconnection, Internet exchange points, root servers, IPv6 deployment, security, And also a lot of things related to internet governance. Just to highlight some of these activities, what is related to internet exchange, to regional interconnection, internet exchange point. The main idea is to improve the interconnection inside the region. A lot of ISPs have they are interconnected through Miami. They hire fiber, they hire internet upstream provider in Miami, but still the interconnection inside the region is not so good. There are some organizations that have fiber covering all the area, but it's not utilized to interconnect inside the region. So there is a lot of work on this. There are a lot of work on this. And also a lot of work to establish more internet exchange points in the region. It's a very active work for LACNIC. So we start with this NAPLA thing, and Latin America Network Access Point or Internet Exchange Point discussions. It's a forum, a regional forum. People join during the LACNIC meeting to discuss, to give some updates about the Internet Exchange forums, but also discuss some projects to improve the regional interconnection. We also are supporting some projects, especially with statistics, measures, to have a better idea how is the interconnection inside the region. We also have some policies. These policies are related to internet research assignments. This came from the community, of course, but the idea is to allow internet exchange points to receive internet research, to create their infrastructure, like receive at least 24 for their network, ASN, IPv6, and it's a very hot topic. It has been discussed in different forums, not only in LACNIC, but in ECLAC, as I mentioned. There is another organization called CITEL. They are discussing this, ISOC, INET, IGF. It's a very hot topic. We are very close to this one, trying to help. Root servers is also another hot topic. It's related to internet stability. And to help with this, we have this project. It's called MAIS. RAIZ is something more like more roots. And specifically with this project, the idea was to help people to deploy anycast copies of the F-root in the region. We have already installed 5 servers in the region, one in Chile, one in Argentina, Venezuela, Panama, and Ecuador. We have space for 2 more. We have budget for 2 more, and we help with the initial costs, cost not only with the related to the server, but also some fees. And we are studying possibility to have another copies, another anycast from other root server operators. And we also have some policies for this. The idea is to allow root servers operators to have their assignments IPv6, IPv4, ASN to facilitate this installation. Another one that's related to internet stability is IPv6. It's another very hot topic in the region and on these days. The main idea is to give information, to help people have the right information, to start playing with IPv6, not playing, but now it's time to start to operate IPv6. So we are doing a lot of promotion, but also training. We start with this, what we called IPv6 tour. The idea was to visit some cities and important capitals in the region to talk about IPv6. It was more promotion. It was very focused on the management staff of ISPs to make them aware of IPv6, the need of IPv6. We also established this portal for IPv6. The idea is to have some information there for ISPs, for governments, for our end users about how to use IPv6. We have some statistics, very interesting one. I invited you to go there. Just go to the LACNIC portal, it's lacnic.net, then you'll find a a link to this portal. We also established this campaign. It was in 2007. The main motto of this campaign is to have the region ready for IPv6 by 2011. There is another typo there. I'm sorry for that. And how we can do this? With promotion, with training, with giving the information. That's why we start this portal. We also do some sponsorship for task force. There is a regional task force. They meet during our meetings. We give them space for the mailing list. We help them with this. And as I mentioned, it's a very hot topic, very related to IPv4 put exhaustion. And this IPv6 tour, the first one was just promotion. The idea is to talk about IPv6, but not so deeply focus on the technical aspects. We start a new one. The second version of this is related to training. The idea is to go to different places, stay there for 1-2 days, giving IPv6 training, having access to routers, creating some labs, giving people the chance to play with IPv6 on different topologies, different architectures, and try IPv6 on their computers. We started this program, this training in last year, May 2008. So far, we were able to do 7 training like this. The next one will be tomorrow here in the Dominican Republic with support of local university, local organization. So far, we have like 100 people subscribed to the training. Very, very impressive. We are very excited about this. And we have some support from a European organization. They have a project called 6Deploy, and they provide us with some materials, some trainers. Usually they come here to our region to give training. So it's a very hot topic, and we are trying to help with the IPv6 deployment. Still with the internet stability and development, we have security. It's another important subject. We try to help people with the mailing list space. They have a space in our meetings to discuss, to present things. During our meetings, also they have workshops and trainings about how to create response teams. We have some internal projects also to support this activity, the creation of response team, the emergency response team. And another project is very related to security is the RPKI, the research public key infrastructure. The idea is to secure the routing system. We are working very hard on these. We have some internal projects. We are just hiring someone to write some codes, to start with some prototypes, to be very, very active in this and allow the community in our region to play with this, to be aware of this and start to work with this. And then we come to internet governance. It's a hot topic also these days, and we understand why. The internet has become a very important communication mechanism. It's very important to governments, very important to organizations. So a lot of attention is given to internet the governance, how things are being done. There is a lot of concerns about stability, the growth, access, internationalization. So it's a hot topic also in the region. And what we have been doing is trying to participate in different forums like the WISES, IGF. There is this Inter-American Telecommunication Commission. It's called CTEL. We are very active on this. And despite all the regular forums for us, at least for ICANN, RI meetings, operators forums like this one, we have other forums inside our regions. We try to be present there to discuss this, to address the community needs, address the community concerns, the government concerns. About the ISIS and the IGF, our CEO was part of the WISES. They have a multi-stakeholder group. He was part of that. He's also part of the advisory group of the IGF since of the beginning, so we are very close to this subject and these organizations. Our main worry about this is show these people how RIR have been responsible for more than 15 years with the IP distribution management. And also talk about the successful process we have from policy establishment. It's a bottom-up process. People can address their needs, propose policies, and have these policies implemented. It's very successful. As you could see, we have a lot of activities for training to address their needs, to support the internet growth. It's not only LACNIC. Other IRs have things like this one. So we are very worried about this. We want to support and allow the internet to grow. And as you could see, also we have a lot of discussions about the IPv6 deployment, but also the IPv4 pool depletion. We are concerned about this. We have space. People can address their concerns. There are a lot of policy proposals being discussed, how to address this, and at the end of IPv4 pool. It's another example of the successful process for policy proposal and policy implementation. And I don't have a presentation here, but I would like to highlight something that's related to the operators group. We have another project in the technical area. It's our challenges inside of our regions. Like we are planning to have EPP, which is the extensive provisional protocol to allow ISPs to provide information to our GUI server using EPP. Nowadays, they have to go to our website to give some information about the assignments, the sub-allocation they made. The idea is to provide another mechanism, more efficient mechanism, so they can use their internal database, they use their internal system, and provide information through this protocol. It's called EPP, is ITF protocol. We are working very hard. The idea is to have something ready by this year. We will have our meeting in May. I'll talk a little bit about this later. And the idea is to have some prototypes, some libraries, some documentation ready by this time, so people can start to play with. This is a very important project side. And another thing I would like to mention is that there was some presentation about ASN, 32 bits ASNs, yesterday and Monday, if I'm not wrong. And we just started by today to answer queries for ASN 32 bits using the ASN plan format. Like there is a RFC that recommends the usage of this format. We just start to answer our queries, GUI's queries using this format. And another challenge we have is improve the community coordination inside the region. We have the idea to create this LACNIC. It's a network operation group. There are some successful examples inside the region. In some countries, they have some operators group. It's very successful, very important. But the idea is to create a space more regional, with regional coverage, so people can discuss the subjects, not among themselves inside their country, but in regional. The idea is to have some space inside our meeting. We tried during the last meeting. There was some discussion about routing aggregation, RPKI, NTP. This is also a very strong challenge for us. And finally, our next challenge, it's always a challenge to hold a meeting, to support a meeting. This will be our next meeting in Panama from 25 to 29 May. You are all invited, of course, and this will be a very challenging task as LACNIC meeting is becoming very important, very big. It's always a challenge. And that's it. I appreciate your attention. If you have any questions and comments, I'll try to address them.
So I think we have a couple moments for about 2-3 questions for Ricardo. Okay, Ricardo, thank you.
Thank you.